Good Monday morning. It's that time of the week again, the beginning where we have so much opportunity in front of us to kick ass and live head first all week long. It's time for Monday Morning with Megs. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday morning to you. Hope you're pumped to get this week rolling. I'm pretty stoked, you could say, to be kicking it with you, as always, to just give you a little nugget, something to get you ready to get after the week, to do the best you damn well can, to have as much fun as possible, and to be successful in whatever it is that you're focusing on for this week. I think it really helps to have an intention or something you're kind of striving toward that you have in the back of your noggin throughout the week to keep you online and make sure that you can have the best week that you possibly can. And I was listening to a podcast. I've talked about it a couple of times. It's called Primal Potential. Elizabeth Benton is the host of it, and she is phenom.com. You know what I mean? She is one of those people who she gets into my soul and she like lights me up. I feel I feel like she's creeping on my life sometimes when I'm like, hey, I don't need you up in my shit, like calling me out on the things I'm not doing that I need to do better at. And she always finds it and she pokes it. And sometimes I like it so much that I have to pull out my phone when I'm on my walk and listening and write down a little note because I'm like, oh, I got to share that. That's perfect for Monday Morning with Megs to share with other people, because if it's powerful for me, it'll probably be powerful for you. And I think we can all relate to a lot of different things. So shout out to Elizabeth Benton for being dope as hell. Shout out to you for being dope as hell. And this is the thing that she brought up the other day that I thought was so good. And it was this idea of doing nothing. Like, what if you mastered the art of doing nothing? We talk all the time about you need to take massive action. You need to do one little thing every day and you got to break it down, and you got to, the distance between here and your dreams or whatever is action or whatever, stuff like that. We're always talking about doing things in order to get things done. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is very true. Obviously, you have to take action to create change, but you can also create some change in your life by slowing down and sometimes you just do nothing. Sometimes the place to start is where you have to start interrupting some of the decisions or actions that you're taking that aren't moving you closer to where you want to go. And she was talking about this in the context of food and nutrition and all of that stuff, which is, of course, kind of the medium where I've learned a lot of the different mindset things that have really changed the trajectory of my life. And that is this idea of the power of the pause. If you're about to do something, maybe it's eating one more piece of pizza than you really, really need to, or it's having a drink when you're sad, or something like that, something that later on you're like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I really didn't need that, or it didn't taste as good as I was expecting. Or maybe if you say something, I'm guessing we've all said something kind of impulsively in response where we're like, wish I would have just like paused for a second and maybe not said that, or said it at a different juncture, or something to that effect. And how much change we could create in our life if we got in a habit of doing nothing when we're being triggered in any kind of way, or when we're in a dark spot, because that's where we tend to make these decisions that we're not feeling so super hot about later. And the power of the pause is that when you wait, it's like you're not ultimately denying yourself the opportunity to say whatever it is you want to say or whatever your truth is. You're not necessarily denying yourself the handful of Cheetos. You're not denying yourself beer or another wing or whatever your thing is. I can always eat another wing, and but you're putting it off for a little bit. You're giving yourself a chance to get to kind of this brighter place or a better decision making mode, because it's not a reactive, like, oh my God, I'm pissed, I need to drink 3 glasses of wine, or I do not like what that person just said, and I need to let them know that they need to remember their place, and I know this, and blah, blah, blah. Or I've been thinking about this forever, and I've just been waiting for an opportunity to prove to you that I'm right. And just kind of the shit that we do as humans. And so I guess my point here is, this week, what if one of your focuses was on waiting, or getting yourself in the habit of not doing anything, of doing nothing, of saying nothing immediately in the moment, or at least delaying the thing that you're going to do. So you give yourself an opportunity to make a well thought out decision about what it is you're going to do next. Because we don't have to look at this as good, bad. This isn't binary. Everything is on a scale, right? There are most, that was very Minnesotan, most optimal decisions that you can make, and there are far less optimal decisions that you can make. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're good or bad, but if you can get yourself in the habit of waiting, you give yourself the opportunity to kind of monitor and babysit yourself a little bit, instead of just being impulsive all the time and being in a habit of instant response. You can get more in the habit of listening, considering, and then responding versus reacting. And it leads to, I think, a lot more love-based reactions, things you're saying, things you're doing, whatever, than it does fear-based reactions or anger-based reactions, or those types of things that can sometimes come across to others or even to yourself as really like not that great and something you wish you hadn't done. So this week, focus on the opportunity to, when you feel like you want to react to something, or you're going to do something that you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to do whatever, or I really need this, I had a bad day, or I had a great day and I need to really overdo it on, I don't know, whatever it is you tend to overdo things on, spending, eating, drinking, sharing, whatever. Give yourself the opportunity to pause, to wait for the thing that you think you want to do or that you think you want to say, and give yourself the opportunity to either verify that you do in fact want to do, say, consume, whatever, or to be like, whoa, I'm glad I waited, because I was just kind of in a dark spot. I was having a moment there, and I really saved myself a lot of stress and angst and maybe a negative interaction that wasn't really necessary, because my brain was just telling me in the moment that that I should react like an asshole or do things that I know aren't going to make me feel good later. So this week, get yourself in the habit of doing nothing, of pausing, and giving yourself a chance to make sure that you can be the best you can possibly damn well be. That is all I have for you this morning. I hope you have the best week of your life. I'll catch you back here next week. Until then, make sure that you're having fun, being yourself, and living head first. Thank you so much for tuning in to Head First Radio today. I hope you had a good time, got some value, and are leaving feeling a little lighter and more fired up than you were before you pushed play. If that is the case, I would be so appreciative if you would take the time to leave a 5-star rating and review, and or share this episode with somebody you feel could use the message and the opportunity to start living head first in their own life. I'm so appreciative of your support, and I can't wait to catch you back here soon.